Good morning. Good morning. Wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a beautiful world with no hate, no lies, no deception, nobody hurting anybody else? No, we're dreaming. I just Googled this. I try to do everything possible to help get this story out to the world. So I Googled it. Amazon came up. Good morning. So I clicked on Amazon. And instead of going down in the ranks towards number one, it's going back up. And there was a review on there. Mental illness. Somebody paid the $10 and got to read it. They already knew what the book was about. They purposely paid the $10 so they could leave a 1-star review on this book. We're at war, people. We really are. It's called Trying to Get the Truth Out About the Haters and About the Criminals. And I reported them. I did. Are they a medical doctor to say I have a mental illness? For real? I got a very sharp mind, except for being 64 years old. But it's just a point. Somebody purposely going on there to hinder the truth from getting out. But everybody that sees this, it's one more person. They didn't want to know the story. They didn't really. Anyway, I was happy to report them. I was. Well, good morning. Age is just a number. Yeah, my mind says I'm freaking a teenager again. But then I go to do it and my body says, oh, shit, why'd you try to do that? That's funny, Libby. Oh, so anyway, you saw my video from, yesterday. My stew got done this morning. So it's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, it's really tasty after sitting all night long. The haters come out. Yeah, a lot of comments. The main comment, I've had this comment, because I'm trying to expose people like Donald Trump, people in our government. None of them are any good. I'm trying to expose that. So I'm just not like, Donald Trump basher. I can't stand government. And my story is a good example of what our government does. I was kidnapped. I was replaced. I've seen extortion at the top. I've seen presidents, of the United States and how the shadow government and the Secret Service, use them, control them, just like it's a movie. But one thing is, don't piss them off. Just lay off Donald Trump because there's too many supporters of Donald Trump. Well, first of all, I don't sugarcoat nothing. And I'm not doing this for the funds of it, people. I'm not on here each and every day sharing my story, handing out bumper stickers, giving away books for the funds of it. I'm trying to wake up this world so I don't have to do this anymore. So I can just take a break and go fishing. It is that important to me as an American patriot to wake the world up to what the truth is. It's all about the truth. So when people say, just go with the program, just go with it. It's all right. But there's too many Donald Trump supporters. And I hate to tell you, there's not. It's the system. it's the media to make you think there's that many Donald Trump supporters, because there's not. If you go out in the world, in the real world, and not on social media, you'll hear. I'm in Arizona. Arizona is one of the most Trump supporter states there is. And when you stand in the post office and hear people talking about wanting to execute the man, I didn't say nothing. I even told them I wouldn't be saying that out loud. But it's all make believe. It really is. It really is. And whatever happened to Donald Trump being convicted of felonies? Now that he's, is it okay for felons to be president and that just goes away? What about the Epstein files? You know, Donald Trump was best friends with Epstein. I hate to tell you. What happens to all that? It just goes away when you become president, and the supporters just, yay, go, Mr. President? Really? I'm all about putting the government back to the lions, to the people that care, to the real people that have served this country, and not somebody just put in as president of the United States. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to sugarcoat it for popularity. I don't give a shit if people like me or not. My job, and it's my responsibility personally, to get the story out. As the son of our former president, I want justice. I want justice each and every day. You know, seems like yesterday was Friday. It's Friday again. Have I got my justice? You know, I do rely on people because I can't do it myself. To try to wake people up and say, hey, John's family was murdered. Is there justice for murder anymore? Is there? Or do people get away with theft of billions of dollars and just get away with it because they become president of the United States? No wonder they like that power so much in the crime ring that we have above us, because they get away with murder. They get away with theft of billions of dollars. They're able to cover their ass. So basically, when people say, just lay off Donald Trump, really? Just lay off? The man sold my loved ones' possessions. My loved ones were murdered. These fake imposters using identity theft stole all that money. And then with the help of Donald Trump, they sold it. I'm just supposed to forget that? Just lay off Donald Trump. Forget they stole billions of dollars. They stole your life. They stole my life. They stole my mother, my father's, my stepfather's possessions. Our Secret Service did that. People working with our Secret Service did that. They stole billions of dollars. The Secret Service puts the presidents in place. I'm not pulling this out of my ass, people, because I hate Donald Trump. No, it's public record that all the stuff was sold at Sotheby's auction. Sotheby's auction don't just sell, yard sale items. They don't just sell things you see at the damn flea market. These items sold for millions and millions of dollars with the help of Sotheby's auction at fucking Trump Tower. I'm getting a sty in my eye. I apologize. I made a joke the other day and said it's because I say the F word. And then somebody said, I can't handle your videos because you say the F word. Well, guess what? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You can go get this book. There's no F words in this book that I believe of. I don't know. There's no F words in there. You don't have to follow me. I'm just trying to get my story out. You don't have to follow me. You can go to this book and read this book. The truth is in here. It really is. I'm just trying to wake people up. I don't give a shit if you don't like me, if you hate my freaking guts. I don't care. But me, as an American, I want people to know. And I do consider all you lions my family members. I really, really, really do. And I appreciate you trying to get the truth out. I think you all are the real patriots of this world. there's a lot of you in other countries, which is wonderful. We're getting the story out. But where was I going when somebody says, I can't handle you because you say fuck, shit, piss, whatever? I'm real. A picture of me just came out. I've been sharing it, of me with the Hells Angels. A little John Kennedy Jr. with the Hells Angels patch on his back with a 1%er. What do you think they had me do back then, people? Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you people just think it's for my own good to lay off Donald Trump. Just because it's a popularity contest, I don't give a shit. I don't want to try to fool people. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not going to kiss ass to Donald Trump supporters just to make them like me. I don't give a shit if they like me or not. I'm just trying to wake people up to what they do. And they are criminals. They belong in prison. They really, really do. Now, why would I say that? Because I personally know Donald Trump is involved with identity theft. Donald Trump is involved in pre-planned first-degree murder. Yes. And to top that off, the sale of my loved one's possessions for his gain and his profit. Yeah, but what's going to be done about that? What's been done about me saying they murdered my mama and my sister and my aunts, my uncles, my cousins? You can't say I'm lying when I say they murdered my father. You all seen it, but they try. They try to say, oh, it wasn't real. It was a clone. Your father wasn't really there. Well, I call bullshit on that, because if my father wasn't there, then there was no murder committed. We should be trying to get justice for the clone that was shot that day. But my father was actually murdered that day, and I want justice. But when they come out with their little lies, they say, oh, he wasn't murdered. Donald Trump comes out saying, this old man that wasn't my father was my father. Everybody's buying into the bullshit. Then murder was not murder. That's what they're trying to fool you with. When they say John is coming back to run with Donald Trump, that's bullshit spin. The man was murdered. I didn't like him. I probably would have, myself, because he wanted me unalived himself. When they were on that plane going to that wedding, they were taking me there to unalive me. So I could never be sitting here. There's been many people, many attempts trying to unalive me. So I don't share this story to you. That's why I like you so much, Brenda, because you just tell it how it is. Fuck is a good word, Brenda says. It's a very emotional word. It's an attention getter. It really is. I learned that writing songs for a lot of famous people. You get their attention. You say, fuck. And then people, what? You just grabbed their attention and brought it towards yourself. But yeah. But it gives you styes in your eye. It really does. I'm getting another one. So next week, my eye's going to be all, I'm going to have to drain it. Yeah. I got to stop saying that word so much. Oh, hello, Missy. Hi, sir. I just found you last night and have been binge watching your videos. Forgive me if I seem ignorant, but I just found out I have to unlearn. Wonderful comment. And it's not about forgiving you. It's just to try to tell you the truth, and you can figure it out from there. It's a movie. Just like my whole life was a movie. They replaced me. I had a Hollywood career. I was taught at a very, very young age as a child, Hollywood. And I'm sharing now that it's all bullshit. The way our government works, it's bullshit. It's photo ops. It's all photo ops. It's all mind control to build us up to praise the evil government that we have. And they are evil. You don't think the government's evil? Go to a government office. That's right. Just walk in. This is America. You should not be, you should not have to see an armed guard when you first get there. Why is that done? Why do you have to talk to somebody, make an appointment months in advance, talk to somebody through some thick ass bulletproof glass? Why is all that done? Because our government has pissed people off with their lies, their bullshit, and their deception. Call me wrong. I don't think you could unless you're just a hater. Anyway, I've got The Quiet Journey right here. Some wonderful people just put this out. I do believe they're hindering it from getting out or handing out bumper stickers. If you run across a hater, send them to thequietjourney.tv. Let them see for themselves my little movie. And, it's something that deserves to be world news. It really does. My story deserves to be world news. Sorry about the haters and all the bullshit and me having to say my story 1,000, 10,000, probably 100,000 times over. It's ruining my voice. I'm starting to sound like Robert Kennedy sometimes. And he's probably not even Robert Kennedy. What does this book have in it? Yeah, this book tells you that the man you knew as John Kennedy Jr. was a fake, a fraud. He was placed by the circus we have running in our government by these powerful, powerful people. People don't realize how powerful our government is. That's where you all need to wake up and just realize our government is so fucking powerful. They can unalive people. They can replace people. They own all the media, so they can keep all the stories hush hush. Epstein's one of Epstein's accusers. It's a vicious cycle. It really, really is, because somebody tries to get the story out. They end up getting paid off. They accused somebody in royalty. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't want, so I just see what pops up. And anyway, this victim of Epstein's popped up. She committed suicide. Don't believe that bullshit within 5 fucking, I don't know what I was going to say, but don't believe it. Yeah. Epstein committed suicide in prison. Don't believe it. I'm a personal eyewitness to how they work. I was in the Black Ops Special Forces. I know how they work. Our government is that powerful. Yeah, it's that powerful. Well, am I an eyewitness that Epstein didn't put something around his neck and hang himself? No. But with my experience, I can say he didn't hang himself. They were trying to shut his ass up. Why? Because they wanted Donald Trump to be president, and they didn't want Epstein saying, Donald Trump, help me out. Get me out of this. I know you're my best buddy, and we were in this together, but hey, help me out here. Well, Epstein pissed somebody off in that little clique, and they didn't want him around. But now Epstein, one of Epstein's victims, committed suicide. Don't believe it. I wouldn't. I don't. No, that is how powerful I'm trying to share that our government is. They do that shit all the time. Unalive people. They have no remorse. I'm sitting here sharing they unalive my mom. I'm a personal eyewitness to that. They unalive my sister. I'm a personal eyewitness to that. You are a personal eyewitness that why? Because you've seen it millions of times, like me. My father's brain's getting blown out on TV. That's how powerful our government is. Bobby, same thing. Yeah, they wanted it. They wanted it that way, so people could know how powerful they are, and they like strutting their shit. Anyway, our government is that powerful to do that kind of evil, sinister shit. And Trump is a good example of that. He really is, because didn't he just get convicted? I didn't pay attention except for seeing it all over the media that Trump was convicted of all these fucking felonies. And I did a talk show the other day where Trump's nephew was on there saying Donald Trump was in charge of my 400 and some odd $1 million, and he ripped me off. Why did he rip you off? Why did he rip you off at $400 million? Because he's not Donald Trump. He's a Hollywood actor. That Hollywood actor distributes all his money to organized crime. That's how the fuck it works, people. That's how it works. Yeah, but do you think that's going to be all over the media, not just on freaking a TikTok video or YouTube? Hey, my Uncle Donald Trump stole $400 million from me. No, you're not going to see that on mainstream media because they like Donald Trump. They like that puppet in their fucking pocket. How come you don't see my story on there? How come you don't see my story on mainstream fucking news? CNN, Fox, ABC, and all that shit? Why? Because they own it. Our government owns it. They own it all. It's called the cabal. They don't want you to know, but they do. They own it. And that's how they keep these stories quiet. That's how powerful our government is. And people need to realize that's how powerful it is. That's like saying, why can't I get 50 views on a Friday morning? Maybe it's almost afternoon where you're at. Why? Because we're hindered. I'm serious. I'm straight up. How many views do you think I would have if I was on Fox News right now? The real John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. kidnapped and replaced by our own government. How many views do you think Fox News would have for that exclusive interview? I would bet my sweet ass, even though it's not that sweet, there would be millions and millions watching the story. There would be. There really would be. This story is the biggest story of the century. But why do we only have 50 views? If I was on ABC, Fox, or CNN, or any of that shit, there would be millions. It would be streamed on YouTube here. There would be millions of viewers. Hey, they're releasing they're letting you know the real files, because you're not going to get them from Donald Trump. It was called the takeover by the mafia of the United States government. That is the JFK files. Why was my father assassinated? Hello, it was a mafia war. Why did they get him on camera? Why did they purposely do that? So he could not have somebody clone a body double. Identity theft. That's why they had it done in broad daylight on film for the whole world to see. That's how powerful the criminals are in our government. Yeah, it was a mafia war, a mafia takeover. That's the files, people. People within our own government were taking over power of our government. And, this is all being done. With that said, we are the people. We are the ones that are supposed to be in charge of our government, not the criminals. But the JFK files are telling you, if they were real, but they're not, I'm sharing the real files. It's a mafia war. Here we the people, us little guys, us people that go put our ballot in and vote, we're supposed to be running the country. That's not how it works anymore. Straight up, it's not. Your vote does not matter. Your vote has never mattered. Organized crime is running the fucking show. They are. And they are very, very powerful. And like I said earlier, I'm not doing this to be rich and famous. I really don't give a shit about rich and famous. I've lived a life of hell. I just want to go fishing. I really do. I don't want to tell my story a million more times. I don't. I just want to give this country back to the people. A lot of people have died for this country. There's so much crime going on with the hundreds of thousands of missing children. And I know it. I know it. I've seen it. I've been there. And I'm just trying to share what I have experienced and what they are doing to me to this very day by not getting the story out. We're right over the target. They don't like it. That's why somebody buys my book, just to leave a hate comment that I must be mentally ill. Really? But we have a lot of enemies out there. The enemies are huge. They really are, because they want to keep squeezing us for every dime we got. They want to keep sending all their organized crime family members billions of our dollars. Hello? They want to keep putting people like Donald Trump and Biden in power over and over and over again. Yeah, it's just not a Donald Trump thing. It's a Biden thing. It's anybody that has been in power since they executed my father for wanting to help the people. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what we can do for the country. It's huge what we can do, but we have allowed them to take over our country. The land of the free, yeah, it doesn't exist unless we make it happen. The home of the brave, that's up to us. That's up to us to be the brave and to take our country back from these people. Yeah, it really is. And the haters suck. They really do. But we are at war. It's a war. It really is. Not only have they tried to silence me many times so I wouldn't share this story, but they do it on social media over and over again. They got billions of dollars to leave their negative comments, to buy my books, to leave fucked up reviews. So with that said, for every one hate comment, for one nasty fucking review about my book, please, if you purchase this book, leave a review. Let's leave 10 good reviews to every one of their nasty reviews and help bring this book to number one. That's all it would take. That's all it would take for this book to be number one. How could they deny it? How could they deny it? So when I go to Arlington, Virginia to put this book on my father's grave to make world news, how can they deny it then? And that's when we start healing from all their bullshit. Anyway, thank you so much for joining my live. Please share my live. Please share the Quiet Journey.tv. Please go on there, see it. If you've seen it already, go on there and just share it on your Facebook post. The Quiet Journey.tv. Let's make that go viral. Let's put it right in their face. Like I said, we are at war. And a lot of people need to start acting like they know we're at war, but they don't. They don't realize it. Much love to all you lions. Thank you so very much. I don't know when I'm going to Arlington. I had it planned that I was going to Arlington, and then my son passed away, and then I was taking off all my social media. It's a war, people. It's an all-out fucking war. From them, from me and us lions to getting the truth out, from them to suppressing the truth. It's a war. It's a war of the top. And they are very, very, very fucking powerful. And so are we if we share, if we get the story out. Thank you once again. It's Friday. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed weekend, people. It's a weekend already. Time flies so fast. Another day older and deeper in debt. God bless y'all. Peace out. Thanks for watching.